Okay, so for the third one from tutorial 5, this is your original circuit here, showing you C1, C2 and C3. Your supply voltage will be in 12 volts. Your C1 value is 6 microfarad, C2 value 3 microfarad and C3 value 8 microfarad. What I've then drawn are these two equivalent circuits. So going from here, the original circuit, to this first equivalent circuit, I've removed C1 and C2 and put in an equivalent being CS. CS is the equivalent of these two capacitors in series, and you work out capacitors in series the way that you work out resistors in parallel, and that's this calculation here. Then from this, I've taken this parallel arrangement of CS and C3 and drawn an equivalent circuit with a C total. And to get C total, I've just added up the 2 microfarads and the 8 microfarads to get me 10 microfarads. So that's the circuit reduced and the two equivalent circuits. So now using these equivalent circuits and the original circuit, we're going to work out the voltages and the charges in this circuit. So the first voltage, and the easiest one to get, will be the voltage across capacitor 3. V3, which is the voltage across capacitor 3, which you can see from the diagram, C3 is connected directly across that 12 volt supply. So that's 12 volts. That would also be the same for the voltage across this series part, which encompasses C1 and C2. Using this, or this voltage here, for V3, we can work out what Q3 is. You do Q3 by doing V3, C3. So 12 times 8 microfarads, which gets you 96 microcoulombs. If you're struggling to remember your formula, just go back and use your triangle. QVC. So there's your charge across the third capacitor and the voltage across the third capacitor. We can now use the voltage across this series part here to work out the charge in the capacitors in this series part here. So QS. So QS will be VS, if you like, times the CS. So 12 times 2 microfarads. Gets you 24 microcoulombs. The charge stored by capacitors in series is the same. So if you've got 24 microcoulombs here, then you've got 24 microcoulombs here, and 24 microcoulombs here. So that QS is equal to Q1, and it's equal to Q2. So you've now got the three charges, Q1, Q2 and Q3. We're missing V1 and V2 though. So V1, using our triangle, Q1 over C1, Q1 is the same as QS, which we've just worked out, this value here. And C1 you take from your original circuit diagram. (24 divided by 6) will give you 4 volts. And your V2, again, refer back to your triangle if you're not sure. Q2, it's still that 24 microcoulombs, divided by C2, 3 microfarads. So that gets you 8 volts. So you've got 4 volts across C1, 8 volts across C2. The 4 and the 8 add up to give you 12. So that seems fine. So now we've got the 3 voltages and the 3 charges. So that's that question complete.